Hi, my name is Madeline Taylor, and I've been spending all day, last minute of course, trying to decide what I'm going to do for this video. Now, as I'm getting ready, I'm thinking, okay, I could do something creative, like a discovery thing, or a news report, or I have no idea. And as I'm thinking about this, a thought popped into my head of what am I going to have for breakfast. So as I'm getting more and more hungry, all I can think about is food. So I'm like, alright, fine, what do I want for breakfast? And I'm like, of course, my favorite type of breakfast, which is cereal. So I was thinking, why not try to mix the two together? Mix cereal with the deaf culture video, and let's see how it works out. Part of being the deaf culture, the deaf people identify themselves using 4 parts of bringing themselves within the community. These 4 parts are 1, being deaf or hard of hearing, 2, sign language, 3, politics, and 4, the deaf president. The bowl is essential for any cereal. You need it because if you didn't have it, you'd have cereal and milk everywhere, and that would be no fun and definitely not what you're going for. So the bowl is similar to the deaf culture's first basic requirement that you should be either deaf or hard of hearing, which makes sense. It's a culture made out of deaf people, so all deaf people should be deaf. That is pretty basic concept, and sort of like a bowl is the basic concept of what is needed for making cereal. And next we have the actual cereal. The cereal is what it's all about. It's delicious, it's yummy, it's unique to each different kind of brand and different kind of flavor. And that is kind of the idea with sign language. Sign language is very unique to the culture. It was something that was made many years ago through the French, and it was something brought up and they can now use it. The milk. Now the milk represents the politics of the community. As in our world, there's always just a little bit of politics that affect us. It's the same with the deaf community. Milk to represent it because you can never not live life in your little bowl of Lucky Charms without a little bit of politics. Now that we have our basic bowl of cereal, we've got the bowl to represent the deaf, hard-hearing part of the society. We've got the cereal that represents the sign language that helps them communicate, and then we've got the milk. The milk is the politics and what is part of the community and what makes them into a whole part. Now lastly, we could just get it right in it and slurp on it, but that's not really how you're supposed to eat cereal. So lastly, we have a spoon, and the spoon represents for them the Deaf President Now Act that happened in 1988, the spring of 1988. It was a huge deal because they had the university for a long time, almost 125 years, before finally they said they wanted a president of the university to be deaf just like the students that were there. So it took months, but finally they got around to getting the first deaf president. And being part of that movement was huge for them, and it opened up the entire world to that deaf community and deaf idea of that's actually happening. So the 4th requirement or part of being part of the deaf community is knowing and standing behind the deaf president of whoever it is at the time. That's a huge part for them of knowing that you were there for like any new deaf people's education, that you were there as part of the community. It's a step more than just being part of the politics, but you're part of that movement, or you were backing up, even if you weren't born yet, you were backing up that part of the movement that was there that helped people find, or help the deaf people realize who they were and become a nationwide community that everybody knew about. So that's your basic makings of a perfect bowl of cereal. Now, I hope you guys understand the 4 parts of how the deaf identify themselves within their community. Alright, have a good day and bon appetit!